everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Grandmaster run Lightblade with Hunter. For my subclass, I'll be using Nightstalker. Here are the mods and fragments I'll be using in this video. For my heavy, I'll be using a scout rifle with 3 rewind rounds and kinetic tremors. Next, I'll be using a glaive, optional by the way, with incandescent. For my heavy, I'll be using Gjallarhorn. For the exotic, I'll be using the Graviton Forfeit to get invisibility and pretty much just spam glaive. So this is going to be the solo Grandmaster run for the Hunter Nightstalker. Now before anyone comments, yes, I didn't go for the platinum rank for this week. The reason why, well, there's a lot of reasons, but mainly, 1, I'm not really minus 25, I'm around minus 30 for this run. 2, I didn't think it was worth doing platinum rank for this week because I really wanted to farm the stasis glaive, but I will kill all the champions. But at the boss fight, I will let everyone know the champions that you're supposed to kill to get the platinum rank. Now there's just a lot of things going on for this week. 1, I'm not at the right fair power level, and it's a bit unfair that I am not minus 25 to get this run done. And then the new thing is you can actually be minus 20 for GMs now, which I didn't know until I would say the last few weeks of Final Shape. Then I found out about it. So the weapons I'm using right now doesn't really look too strong. I would say it's decent, but if I was a little bit more higher power level, then this loadout will actually be really, really good. If you want to, you can take down the bigger champions. There is a trick to getting platinum rank where you can leave 2 bigger champions at the boss fight when doing the mini cheese. Alright, now I have done this mini cheese a couple of times, and if you don't believe me, which I'm sure the new players won't believe me, you can watch my old Lightblade video where I did pretty much the same strat as this footage, but I killed the 4 champions at the boss fight and then skipped the 2 and then got platinum rank. Now I am using the scout rifle with rewind rounds and kinetic tremors. It's really good. Highly recommend to check it out for scouts. I really like it. And then of course there's a lot of modifications. There's some new mods which I really need to talk about. So they have this new mod. It's called Bands. And for some reason Bungie decided to give these regular wizards or regular captains to have this elemental power. Alright. And it is RNG. It even says in the modification that it's randomized. I really don't like that. And then another thing, fake bricks. So there's a new mod where there could be fake bricks that can one-shot you, by the way. It can one-shot you if you are really low power level. They can one-shot you, the fake heavy bricks. So this dude right here that we quickly took down, it has this shield, and what does it do? Well, from what I'm seeing, it just has a more extensive health of the shield and it takes a little longer to take down. That's pretty much it. And yes, you're probably wondering, why did I go red? Well, these fake bricks, a modification, right? It nearly one-shotted me, and I wasn't really thinking about it too much because I wanted to pick up heavy as fast as I can. So there is 2 barrier champions, and there is a Lucent Hive. There is a Lucent Hive that wants to be a Titan, but it just can't be a Titan. I mean, it tried, but it just didn't it's just not working out for him. So he's taking all his frustration towards Guardians, and especially Titan mains. Like, poor Titan mains. This Lucent Hive hates Titan mains because it's trying to be a Titan, but it's just not working out for this dude. So I did use the Glade Bubble so I don't get one shot from the Sentinel Shield. And I did use the Glade Bubble so the suppressing grenades won't one-shot me. So glaives are really good. And another reason why I want to use glaives, well, for this glaive, is I have a hunch, right, that there's going to be an artifact mod for glaives. And yes, I did accidentally forgot to take down the Lucent Hive to break the ghost, right? I did forget about that, so I apologize for that. Excuse me. This was my first go. Alright, this was my first attempt for the loadout because I was debating of using a different rocket or anarchy, and I wasn't really quite thinking too much when I was doing this run. All I was thinking about was that stasis glaive and with chill clip. Wow, just to use it on champions. That's pretty much what I was thinking about when I was doing this run. So because I made a mistake, my bad, and now we're fighting with the Lucent Hive. My goodness, this guy is trying so hard to be a Titan. You will never be a Titan. I am so sorry, Lucent Hive. Lightblade warrior. You can't be a Titan. Sorry. You'll never be a Titan. I mean, look at this guy. He is trying so hard to just one-shot me with his fake Sentinel shield. But you know what? It ain't gonna work for Glaive Girl because I'm gonna crush the ghost and use the Glaive to do DPS with the Salapala Glaive. Alright, so now we're gonna be dealing with more champions. So anyway, I do apologize. I didn't crush the ghost. So my bad for that. But hey, this is a perfect video. So worst case scenario, right? If you forgot to crush the ghost, well, it doesn't mean you give up and try again, which honestly I would recommend just start all over again. It means that you never give up and then you try again. Because that's what Bungie wants for this GMs. They want these GMs to be kind of like, well, what they're doing for dungeons, like a mini raid. So now we're going to be dealing with another Lucent Lightblade warrior. And this time, this guy is really trying hard to be a Titan, but it's just not working out for him. Once again. This is the second Lucent Hive. And yes, he's throwing suppressing grenades. So be aware that he can do that. Be aware that he can try his best to use his super and he can one-shot you. But if you are using the Glade, it can't one-shot you when you pop the Glade Bubble. Has a high resilience, pretty OP, very underrated weapon. But no one really cares about glaives until they have a artifact mod for glaives. Then people will care about it, if I have to be super honest. But like I said, you don't have to use a glaive. You can use a pulse rifle with jolt feedback or pretty much anything you want. So now we're going to see Ballerina Twirls. Wow, 2 barrier champions in one little itty bitty room. Perfect. Now if you do have 2 barrier champions at the middle, you are so lucky. You Bungie traveler. Alright, this is your chance to fully take down the champions quite easily compared for them going on the top platform, glitching, teleporting left and right. They still didn't fix it, by the way. They still glitch out. They still teleport. It's really annoying. I really despise that. And let's not forget about Navi the Ferry. Navi the Ferry comes back. And now we're going to deal with another Lightblade warrior. And be aware that there are fake bricks, but we're not going to call them fake bricks. We're going to call them Bungie bricks. So be aware that this Lightblade likes to throw suppressing grenades. My goodness, he's trying to copy me. Because I like to throw suppressing grenades too. So now we're going to use our super. Hopefully he'll calm down with his fake Sentinel shield. A Titan wannabe. And then once we take him down, we crush the ghost. And then of course we have to take down the champions. But like I said, if you don't care about champions, all you have to do is kill the Lightblade Knights, 2 of them, all the Lucent Hives, and you're good to go. You can just skip all these champions. No, I'm not gonna skip them, by the way. So I will take down the bigger champions. So don't worry about that. And yes, Navi the Ferry. Of course, he'll be swooping around, flying all over left and right, just to harass me. Okay, seriously, this Navi the Ferry, it is trying his best to one-shot me. Alright, calm down, Navi the Ferry. Like, listen, hello, hi. You can also block the glaive shield from this Lightblade Captain. Now, for some reason, I don't know if this is true, I haven't tested out this season. Sometimes the glaive bubble glitches at the boss fight, and sometimes it doesn't work. Now, I haven't tested 100%, but it happened to me on one of my test runs on a different loadout where I was using the glaive bubble while doing DPS at the Lucent warrior, and then the captain was behind me and one-shot me, even though I had a glaive bubble at the boss fight. So I don't know if it's a glitch. I have no idea. You know, every season, every episode is different. They always do changes to the GM, like for this instant. Now, another thing I like to mention is, why do I have triple heavy ammo finder? Like, what's going on, Blitz? Why do you have triple? I'll tell you why. Because they put famine. They put famine in this GM. So they move all the master mods into GMs. Let's take a moment of silence. Let me think about that. My conspiracy is they're going to be moving all these mods from Master Nightfall and move it to GMs. So not only we're going to have famine, we're going to have attrition, we're going to have chaff, because now we have radar, so there's no chaff, it is famine. And guess what? This is the best part. We might have togetherness on GMs. Isn't that great? Actually, no, it's horrible, but I'm just making a conspiracy that they're gonna put all those mods into GMs. Take a moment of silence. I already know what you're thinking. Blitz, that's a horrible idea. Hey, I never complained, I never said anything about GMs being too easy. I didn't say it. I didn't do it. But there are people who are complaining about the game being too easy and they want more challenge. So it is not me. Alright, I did not complain, I did not say anything. The only thing I wanted is I just want fair balance in GMs, alright? That's all I want. Fair balance as in using abilities and using weapons, not just spamming abilities. It just drives me crazy. Ever since Final Shape was out. So we are taking 2 champions, barrier champions, and now we're gonna go to the mini ship. And we're gonna make our way to this, I will say, the next area. So yeah, I'm gonna go do the, I would say, the mini cheese. Not really mini cheese, but you can use the emote, the throne emote, so the ads won't attack you. I will be using this for the next area when we're going across the bridges. So there is a shortcut you can use, by the way. So you can go on this top platform. I apologize if it's late. I usually never do that, but for some reason this footage I decided to just jump a little too late. So you can actually pick up these orbs and then you can go to the other orb. You can also go on top of the roof across, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take down the Acolyte and then take down the Shrieker. But yeah, the damage isn't the best, but like I said, I want to try a Gjallarhorn. I haven't used it for a long time. And just remember the surges is void and stasis, or if they changed it, then I apologize. I guess they change it daily, but I don't know at the moment. So once you get the Void Orb, you can turn invisible. Blitz invisible! Yep. And you can avoid fighting the Lightblade Warrior, the Lucent Hive, and then pick up the orb, and then just say bye-bye, Lucent Hive. I'm out of here. Bungie out of here. But overall, like I said, the mods here is just a bit... I'm still trying to get used to the new mods, especially the picking up the Bungie mods, or the Bungie bricks, I would say. There is a mod called Bands, right? Alright. And it's RNG. Sometimes I get the Meteor Wizard. Sometimes I get the Shield Wizard. Sometimes I get the Shock Wizard. And the worst one is the Drain one. So if you have the Drain one, it can tether you while you're doing this mini cheese spot. Now, I don't think it happened in this footage. But if it... I wish I could show you an example. I think I got lucky and got something else. And then sometimes they don't have anything. Sometimes it's just a regular wizard. So you can see up there, right there, that wizard there, you can see the last wizard. Sometimes it becomes the element, a band or elemental wizard, where it could be shock, drain, shield, meteor. It's so bizarre, so weird, alright? I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know of how I feel because it's new. The only thing I'm worried about is Battlegrounds, where you're going to see a bunch of them and it's going to be always RNG. Like that part, I'm a little concerned. And I hate Battlegrounds, so just let everyone know I'm not into Battlegrounds. I never liked Battlegrounds. Even though there are Battlegrounds that are the easiest, I just don't support Battlegrounds, in my honest opinion. And I don't think, for me, Battlegrounds is not a strike or a story. It's just an activity. Alright, that's me being blunt. That's me being so crucial honest with you. I'm one of those type of players, solo players, that I don't support it. I don't like it. So be aware that sometimes you're trying to shoot the fake bricks and they don't work. Now, a cool thing you can do is if you're a sniper, or I would say a sniper, right? Or a scout. If you zoom in, if you aim at the brick, you can tell which one is fake by seeing this electrical blue shield, this highlight. It starts to get all blue and electricity. You can also hear the sound effect of this electric. And you'll know there's a fake nearby, or in front of you, or behind you. Just be very careful. It is kind of glitchy here where you can clip through the ship, like you can see here. So always remember to leave 1 or 2 thralls, because the worst scenario could happen is the ship leaves you. And you don't want that to happen on your solo flawless run, alright? So there is a trick where you can use a sparrow, but I didn't really feel like doing the sparrow method. Basically, you have to carry the sparrow to the ship. But nah, we're on hunter. We're just going to turn invisible. We're going to go for the hunter way. And the hunter way says, let's just turn invisible and then just walk all the way from the left corner. Another cool thing you can do is you can go on Strand Hunter and use your super. And then just keep using the grenade button, right? Just keep, swinging. You could pretend to be Tarzan and then just swing your way all the way to the end of the objective. That's another funny thing you could do. And another thing you could do is, of course, you can use your sparrow or your hoverboard and then just sparrow your way through the darkness forest. Now just remember, when you are darkness times 10, you can't double jump. All you could do is walk and then just move forward. You can't run, you can't double jump, only one jump. But everyone has their own methods, by the way. But the most safest and the one that really works for all characters, so let's just pretend you want to be on Titan, the Warlock. You can do this method, but it's a little it's a little risky. I would recommend just use the Sparrow method, right? And then just spare your way through the Weight of Darkness. And let's be honest, no one likes this objective. No one likes it because the lamps. See the lamps? They're RNG. There's no fix. Alright, you can also use Amplify as well on Hunter or on Titan or Warlock. You can get through these little doors and go to the lamps. But as I said before, it's RNG. There's no fix. Now, if there was a fix on the Weight of Darkness, the forest, then this objective wouldn't be so bad. Alright? Because I would know exactly which ones are the safest route to go. But the problem is it's RNG. It could be left, it could be right, it could be middle, left, right. And that's what I don't like about this objective. The forest. I really despise it because it's RNG, and you know me, if you're new, I hate RNG. I don't like random RNGMs. I want fairness, I want balance. Alright, I don't want weird bugs or RNG of death, like those champion rocks. Or weird things happening where they teleport or they clip through these mini scripts. They clip through and then they just one-shot you and there was just no way you could defend yourself, for example. So there will be a bunch of time skips since I don't have Unstoppable mod. But hey, maybe episode 2 or 3 they will have Unstoppable Glaive. Who knows? I'm just making a guess right now. Now if I am right, then definitely comment below. Say Blitz was right. There was artifact mods for glaives. So I will do a mini time skip of doing DPS at the Unstoppable Champion. If you are using a stasis heavy, let's just say with chill clip, then you could stagger this champion, but unfortunately we don't have that. Or ignition. Dragon's Breath, for example. If you use Dragon's Breath, you can actually stagger this Unstoppable Champion. I tried it, by the way. I'm gonna turn invisible and then use Finisher on this Unstoppable Champion. I don't want to waste too much time. So I am gonna back away to see maybe I can get some ammo or look for some ammo. Can't really tell. I mean, I was debating if that heavy brick back there was real, but it was fake. Almost got bungee there. Another thing I like to mention is sometimes you'll see exotic engrams. They could be fake too. So be aware that not only you can see fake bricks, you can also see fake engram. Just be very cautious because the worst thing you could do is you see an exotic, like, ooh, exotic, and then you get one shot. Yeah, that's probably the worst scenario. I mean, imagine you talk to your friends. So I saw this exotic engram. I wanted to get it and I got one shot because it was the fake. It was fake because of that modification from GMs. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. So there are actually 2 Unstoppable Champions. Make sure you tag the score on Unstoppable Champion. That way, when the enemies take down the Unstoppable Champion, it will count as you took down a champion. There is also another Unstoppable Champion as the Hive champion. But the objective you really want to do is take down the 2 mini bosses, the 2 mini ogres. And once you take down the 2 mini ogres, then you could take down the Unstoppable Champions. Now I will do a mini time skip of doing DPS at the last Unstoppable Champion, so don't worry, I am going to save your time and suffer. I will suffer a lot. It won't be fun for me, but for you guys. If you have your super, you can actually use your super at the ogre, at the mini boss. Now they are focusing more on the Scorn Unstoppable Champion. And once they take down the Scorn Unstoppable Champion, then they focus on you. But you can actually stand at this spot, and this spot's pretty handy. It's not bad. I like it. You have to be aware of the void attack. That's the problem for this spot, but everything else is not so bad. Just remember that once you defeat the unstoppable champion, make sure you do some DPS at the boss. That way he can disappear and then the door will open. But always remember you have to take down all the Hive enemies. So sometimes there are these Lucent Hive captains and you need to take them down before the door can open. Anyway, I do apologize for the flinch. I was trying to look cool, alright, using the glade bubble and then just doing DPS. See, it would have worked if better and more efficient if I had a unstoppable glaive. But I'm pretty sure next episode, episode 3, they're gonna have a artifact mod for glaives. I have a hunch, guys. I'm telling you, they're gonna have it. Having predictions, and my goodness, we got the drain dude. So be aware that this guy can tether you if you are close by and drain your health. Now the good news is that the drain dude or the drain captain can't tether you at this spot. You're too far away. So you don't really have to worry about him yet, but I do recommend to take him down as well because that's the only way the door will open. So I'm gonna do a mini time skip here. Alright, so we took down the unstoppable champion. Now we're gonna do some damage at the boss. So this is gonna take a while. So I'm gonna do another mini time skip. I don't want to waste people's time. After spending 1 minute of my life. Alright. He should disappear. And then now we can scout, check if there's anything else that we need to take down. So during the time skip, right, I did take down the captain, the drain captain. He was just hiding at the left side. I would say right side. I would say around this spot where I just turned invisible. He was around that area and I just quickly took him down. Sometimes they like to hide behind the walls. So be aware that you must take down the captains or the door won't open. And now we're gonna go to the best part. And the best part is doing this mini cheese because we're gonna shoot toes. I already know what you're thinking. What are you talking about? Yes, I will shoot the boss's toe. That is the cheese. And it's pretty hilarious. Gotta do some pedicure on the final boss. So first things first, turn invisible and then crouch all the way from the left and back away and you don't move. So once you crouch back away from the left, you don't move and you shoot, right? You do a little flinch, like one little shoot or two. And the boss should walk up and you get to see the foot. And then that's when you do DPS. Now we are using a scout rifle, so you can use kinetic tremors to do extra damage. Also, Wish Ender does a lot of damage too. I still think Wish Ender probably does more better damage than the scout as of now, since you are under power level. So yeah, we're gonna shoot the toe. Toe away. I need to make a lot of jokes right now, but if you have jokes, go ahead and comment below because I already know someone's gonna make funny jokes about this. But let's do the cheese, or let's do the toe cheese at the boss. Looks like we gotta medicure this boss just to get platinum rank. When the boss does walk away, you just wait patiently and the boss will just walk up to you. I would recommend not to move around because if you move around too much, then the boss will shoot his arc and he will two-shot you. Pretty much. But you could use the glade to protect yourself and then dodge, turn invisible, and then try again the cheese. But But anyway, we're gonna be shooting the toe. I'm gonna shoot the left toe. I'm gonna have to put some nail polish on this toe, maybe some acrylic. That will be 50 bucks, boss. He will move. And he will be pissed off. And then when you see the toe, shoot away. Shoot away for platinum rank. But like I said, I will explain of the champions that you need to take down when going for platinum rank. For this run, I didn't go for platinum rank. And then shooting the toe with a scout. Pretty hilarious. Just remember, just shoot the boss's toe. Don't make any happy faces, especially if you're using Wish Ender. Do not make any smiley faces. Trust me, the last time I did that, he tried to one-shot me with his Arc Blast, Kai Blast. We're gonna go for the next phase, and you don't have to do this. I decided to just use a rocket. And I could have used my super as well. So during this objective, right, you must take down the Lucent Hive. The Lucent The Lightblade warrior, right? And then take down the Arc Captains. Now this is pretty interesting. So when I was doing this run, right, I forgot that the Lightblade warrior can actually walk at the floor as well. So my bad for that. I was just trying to see if I could use my rocket first or my super. So this was my first attempt at the boss fight, so I apologize for that. And what I should have done here is I should have turned invisible and then used my super and then back away. I didn't do so much in this run, but that's basically the strat of what you have to do. And you can also use the glaive to protect yourself during this area, because this area there's no champions. The hardest part is the second phase. When getting platinum rank, you had to take down the 4 bigger champions one by one quickly, and of course take down the Lightblade warrior. Just be aware that there are thralls that can follow you. So I'm going to wait patiently and we're going to try our best to take down this boss. I wish I did had more rockets, but because of famine, unfortunately, we won't get a lot of heavy bricks for this run. Bad luck, I guess, but I guess that's the mods that we have for this week. If this GM didn't have famine, then I would have spammed a bunch of rockets. So much rockets than what I'm doing right now. And like I said, I'm afraid, I'm a little concerned at the direction of going for the GMs. I feel like they're going to move all these master mods into GMs. So we have famine. Alright. Next week, we might have chaff. Or next week, we might have attrition. Or next week, we might have togetherness. Now, the problem is this, everyone. If we get attrition or togetherness, it's gonna be on a GM, and you're lower than a GM. Let's just say your power level is 20, right? Then that means you're doing a more harder GM level than what you're supposed to do for your solo runs. And there's really no balance. It's so unfair. Especially for players where they have to focus on XP, and that's pretty much what I've been doing since the beginning of this episode. I've been trying my best to grind the XP, and it's so boring and ridiculous. Just so I could just do a solo GM, alright? That was my objective. That was my objective. Now we did take down the Lightblade warrior. Now we could take down the Lightblade captains. We're just gonna call them the Arc Captains. And once you take down the Arc Captains, then we're gonna resume the DPS of the boss fight. But as I said, I am concerned of the direction. I did remember on the TWID, they're gonna add more stuff for next year, etc. I'm hoping it will be good. I don't know because we haven't seen it yet. And it looks like they are testing out the mods for this week with the bans, right? Regular wizards or captains has these elemental power, and then with these fake bricks, and now I'm shooting bricks that I'm not supposed to shoot. So I guess shoot to loot would be quite, will be good to use for GMs now. But what if this GM has togetherness? What if next week's togetherness and attrition? Then what's gonna happen? Because I'll be honest with you, I do not want to use Worm Husk for Hunter. I really hate that exotic. I hate it so much. I really don't want to use that weapon. Like for me, I would rather just go on Warlock or Titan. A scenario. Let's just talk about scenario. What if next week it's Chaff, or let's just say, what if it's attrition or togetherness? Definitely gonna go on a different character. Unless I force myself to use Worm Husk, but I really don't like that weapon. I have bad luck, and you're probably wondering why I don't like Worm Husk. Such a good weapon for PvP, la la la. It is, but Worm Husk hates me every time I use a dodge. It doesn't want to give me health. It gives me itty bitty health. Like, here you go, Blitz, that's all you need. Leave it. Leave the health to the new players. I'm like, come on, give me some health. I need it. That's basically me, my relationship with Worm Husk. Alright? We don't get along. We have fights. Doesn't want to give me the right amount of health when I want to use it for GMs. And I haven't used it for years. Alright? I tried my best to avoid that weapon. Well, I tried my best to avoid that exotic. So now we're going to do some DPS at the last Arc Captain. Remember to use invisibility so you can go to the cheese spot. Now, when doing this in a Titan or Warlock, let's just say, but you don't really have to do this for Warlock and Titan. Since we're a Hunter and our DPS isn't the best, that's why I'm doing this cheese. You can actually lure the Lightblade captains to the cheese spot and then quickly kill them to quickly take them down. That way the boss won't see you, and then you can quickly just go to this cheese spot. That will be probably the hardest part if doing this on Warlock or Titan. You need to lure this Lightblade captain near the cheese spot, or you need to use a rocket. It's low on health, and then you just have to keep luring it, and then use a rocket and then quickly go to the cheese spot. Let's just pretend I don't have invisibility. That's pretty much what I would have to do on Hunter if I wasn't on a Viz. I have to lure this captain and then quickly go to the cheese spot. Let's just pretend I'm going on Arc Hunter or Strand Hunter. Alright. And now we're going to be shooting the foot. Must shoot the foot. Shooting the foot to complete the solo GM. Isn't this hilarious? So just remember, when you see half of his health, I do need to remind everyone that is RNG aware the helmet of the boss or the armor of the boss will fall. Sometimes it might get in your way of doing the cheese spot. I had scenarios on my old videos, not this one, where the armor fell on the same spot where I was trying to shoot the foot. It was probably the worst luck I ever had when doing this method. Now the good news is that it didn't happen for this run, so yay. But for the worst scenarios for other players, it can happen, so be very careful and try your best to find other spots to do DPS. But that scenario happens probably 5% out of 100. And yes, I do warn you, if you are using Wish Ender, let's just pretend, just focus on one spot. Don't make a smiley face. Please don't make a smiley face. Trust me, I did that. The boss almost one-shot me. Don't do it. I mean, if you want to do it in screenshot and send it to me on Twitter, you can, but you're just taking a risk of your life right now. of your guardian life. Do not make smiley faces when using a bow or a wish ender. Anyway, I'm gonna do a mini time skip. Alright, so this is the second phase, and the second phase when doing this method is probably the hardest part. Now this is the part where you need to deal with 4 champions, 2 arc captains, and a Lucent Hive Titan. A fake Titan, a wannabe Titan. It's a Lucent Hive where it wants to be a Titan, but it just can't be a Titan. It takes its anger on Guardian, especially Titan. So if you're doing your soul on a Titan, let's just say. If you're doing your soul on your Titan, this Lucent Hive gets so jealous. Extremely jealous. Really despises Titans for some reason. And I don't blame them. I mean, Titan's jump is just so good for this boss fight. Let's just be honest with that. So when I was doing this run, I wasn't really thinking about it too much because in my mind, I was just thinking about the stasis glaive. So usually when you have to deal with 4 champions and 2 arc captains, all that, what you have to do is you need to take down the bigger champions. Now you can actually stand at this spot and take down one of the bigger champions. Alright, now I didn't think it was worth my time because I was a low power level and my rockets wasn't doing a lot of damage on the bigger champions compared to minus 25. Alright, so the spot where I was standing, you can take down the first barrier champion, and then behind me at the left side where I'm standing, you can also take down 2 more champions behind me from the right side or behind me from the left side. Alright, so then once you take down 3 of the champions, then you could take down the other champion as well. Another method you can do for this, let's just say you're going for platinum rank, is you can take your time focusing on the Lucent Hive first and then deal with the 4 champions. Because sometimes when you're trying to do DPS at the bigger champions, sometimes the Lucent Hive gets in your way, uses a super or suppressing grenades while doing DPS. So there's just 2 options you can do when doing this method for platinum rank. But as I said before, I didn't think it was worth my time. Again, sorry if I said this 3 times. The reason why I'm saying it a couple times, because I know there's going to be players who are going to get salty. You know, they're going to get a little sour grapes of, why didn't I get platinum? Because I'm not minus 25. I don't think it's worth it. Minus 30. Minus 31. GM. Famine. Barely heavy. Captains shooting 2-shotting me. Champions 2-shotting me. Not fair. That's what I was thinking in my mind. And plus, I want to focus more on farming weapons that I really want to use for GMs for the future. Hopefully. So yeah, there are 2 options. One, you can deal with the Lucent Lightblade captain, and then deal with the 4 champions. So that's one thing you could do, and then deal with the 4 champions, or you can deal with the 4 champions and then deal with the Lucent Hive captain. So during my old video, that's pretty much what I did. But the thing is that I was taking down the bigger champions very quickly and efficient because I was at the fair power level. And I remember I didn't really have to try too hard farming XP like I'm doing right now for this year. Yeah, it is pretty darn ridiculous. I mean, it is Void Surge. Void Surge, and it's still not doing enough damage. It's so ridiculous. But anyway, this is more of a patience game. So just be very patient. And if you don't care about platinum rank, and let's just pretend you're minus 40 or minus 35 and you just can't bother yourself doing platinum because the barrier champions are one-shotting you or the heavy bricks are one-shotting you, then I don't blame you. Just go for a solo run. And all you have to do is focus on the Lucent Hive captain and then the 2 arc captains, and then just go to the chase spot and then just take down the champion. Pretty much. Mainly for the platinum rank objective, during this phase, you just need to take down the 4 champions, the Lucent Hive, and then the 2 captains. Then once you go to the 3rd phase, you can do the mini cheese and shoot the toe. Yes, shoot the toe. Manicure the toe. Maybe do pedicure on the hand too, if you want to. And then there will be 2 bigger champions that will spawn near the 3rd phase, but you can skip them. It will count as platinum rank. That's the key for this run. You can skip 2 champions and still get platinum rank when you take down the 2 champions early in the stage or early in the objective at the beginning entrance. But anyway, I do want to share this. That's why I wanted to do commentary for this run, because I know if I upload it with no commentary, this video would be extremely confusing of what the Bungie is going on. And I do need to clarify of what I'm doing and what's going on. So yeah. This video, I was just focusing on killing the Lucent Hive and the 2 arc captains. I just couldn't bother myself. You know, grinding a little bit more XP just to get a little bit more high percent of power to deal with these champions. It just wasn't worth my time. Alright? It's already a hassle of being capped on rank 100. Alright? And then you have to wait until 3 weeks from now to go to rank 200. Really hate the XP system, and I'm surprised no one's talking about it. Why is no one complaining about it? I think people should be complaining about that than people saying that the game is too easy, it's not challenging. Alright, that's my opinion. They should complain about it because the XP is pretty damn ridiculous. It's too much grinding, it's so boring. Now we have the talk, so we know the objective. Yay. We're gonna take down the Lightblade captains. We're gonna take our sweet time. There we go. He's on finisher mode. Once he's on finisher mode, you can just turn invisible and then just make your way. But like I said, see that spot over there where I was standing? That's the spot of where you need to take down the champions. And you have to take them down quickly. Now, I know if you are low power level, it would be difficult to take them down because they can two-shot you. But, it depends on your power level. I mean, if you are really high power level, then go for platinum rank because the barrier champions are not going to hurt you harshly compared to -30. Alright? That's basically what's going on over here. So now we took down one of the Lightblade captains. We need to take down one more. Once we take down the last one, we're gonna go to the cheese spot. And remember, the cheese spot is at the right side of the boss room. So basically the snake. See that snake or the worm? Right side, basically. If you're wondering what I'm doing over here, I was waiting for my invisibility so I can use the smoke and then just use the rocket to take down the take down the arc captain. I was looking for him. I mean, he likes to move around quite a lot, I have to be honest. But once you get them, then you just go to the third phase. I was thinking of revisiting for Platinum rank next time, but I don't think it'll be worth it. I think Lightblade's gonna come up 3 weeks from now, or it's never going to be out again, and it's probably gonna be episode 2. And that's another thing I don't like. I don't like the GM system. I really hate it. Now hear me out. I don't like it because they give GMs only 3 GMs rotation every episode. And then they put the checkpoints, the nodes, right? Where you didn't complete it or you didn't solo it, so you have it. At episode 3. That's too long. It should be at episode 2. In my opinion, or halfway episode 2. I would say maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, episode 2, and then we should have all GMs available. Because it's just really stretching the content. And for people like me, it is extremely frustrating, because what if I didn't have time to do XP farm? What if I didn't have time to level up and do my pinnacles? Because not only that, doing pinnacles is RNG too. It's like going to a casino. And sometimes you're doing pinnacles and you're just getting arms and helmets. You're not getting a class item. That's another problem with this system, which no one complains about. They just complain about that the game is too easy. Alright? But they don't complain about stuff that they really need to rework, like the power system, the power level system, the artifact mod system is all bungee up, and the GM rotation system is bungee up too. Because I'll tell you what happened last season. Since this is, I want to tell you what happened last season. So during final shape, I didn't have time to level up, so I missed 3 GMs on episode 1. Yeah, I also missed that. And then episode 2, I barely made it. I barely got the episode 2 GMs done. Barely. Only 2 of them out of 3. Then the 3rd episode, which I only had 2 weeks left. Alright? Only had 2 weeks left because I was just very busy that time. What happened was I had 6 or 7 GMs and I had to get all them done in 2 weeks. Like, do you know how frustrating that was? I remember I was doing 1 GM every day, or maybe I was probably doing 3 GMs in a week, which is too much, way too much work. Very stressful. I remember I was doing battlegrounds on Warlock, right? I was doing these solo battlegrounds on Warlock, and then after that I quickly switched to my Hunter to get the solo Liminality done. And then I had to debate which one do I do commentary, Liminality or battlegrounds on Warlock solo. And then I had to make a choice, right? And then make Liminality solo, because Liminality was new, so I had to do that instead of Battlegrounds. But do you see what I mean, the examples? Very stressful, especially if you're not on it. If you are behind on XP leveling, then you're going to be behind on everything, especially when doing your solo runs. And then it's just stressful. You just don't want to do it. That's basically what happened the last season or episodes. And we're going to go to the cheese spots. Remember, it's at the right side where you see the worm, right side. And now we're going to shoot the toe. We're going to wait for the boss, and hopefully he'll adjust. And then you're just going to shoot the toe, and then just get the solo run done. And it works. So Wish Ender works too. So if you don't like scout rifles, you prefer Wish Ender, then go for it. You could use Wish Ender for the mini cheese spot, and all you have to do is just shoot the toe. And like I said before, please do not make smiley faces with Wish Ender on the toe at the boss. Trust me, sometimes he gets all glitchy and then he's just gonna shoot arc. So please don't do that. Very risky, because I know someone's gonna get bored and say, let me make some smiley faces while I get this Soul GM done. We did our solo run. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And we got 2 glaives. Stasis glaives. Happy day for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.